they're saying that you weren't willing to answer their questions.
I apologize for that, sir. I just hate to get put into a trap. He entraps me, and I'm in therapy every Tuesday in Georgetown with Rebecca Bergman. And he's a malignant narcissist, and he gaslights me, sir.
Robin Rising.
You gotta introduce it for me?
Miss Rising, you're charged with a Class A misdemeanor for driving while intoxicated. Your bond amount set at $3,500. Now, a final decision on a personal bond has not been made in your case. For one thing, according to the pretrial officer, when they first came to talk to you about a personal bond, you didn't answer their questions when they were trying to ask you questions. I don't know what that was all about. Is there a reason why you don't want a personal bond?
No, sir. I was trying to call my attorney.
You're trying to call your lawyer?
Well, I'm not trying to call my lawyer. I was wondering when I was able to call my lawyer, and I didn't understand the actual procedure, sir. My husband was a city attorney, and I don't say anything.
Say it again.
My ex-husband was a city attorney in
Here.
Fort Worth, Texas, Pete Steele. And I don't answer anything, sir.
Okay. Well, when the pretrial services office comes to talk to you, that's about trying to figure out whether you qualify to get released for free. That's not where they're trying to interrogate you about the facts of the case. Okay.
Yes, sir.
It's merely an issue of whether you should qualify for a personal bond, and they're saying that you weren't willing to answer their questions.
I apologize for that, sir. I just hate to get put into a trap. He entraps me, and I'm in therapy every Tuesday in Georgetown with Rebecca Bergman. And he's a malignant narcissist, and he gaslights me, sir. He beat me in the head. My ex-husband, Pete Steele.
How long have you lived in Austin?
Since 2008, sir.
So you've been here about 15 years.
Yes, sir.
Are you working or what?
We have a disaster restoration business, and we operate out of Port Arthur, Texas, and we're in Florida and different surrounding areas.
When you say
who? My mother. I lost my dad several years ago. We've had a family business, and we were in manufacturing, and we've been in business for.
Where do you live right now? You live in
15760 Hamilton Pool Road, and 2.1 miles off of Highway 71. I live right next to BK's Riding Center.
How long have you lived at that address?
Since 2008, sir. He wanted the house. He sold everything at City Hall down the street from Paulette Grummel's on, and then he committed me and said that I was crazy, but he's actually beat me in the head, and that's why my face is not symmetrical anymore. He pinned me down and beat me, and no one's ever heard the real story.
All right. Who do you live with?
I am mentally stable. I function alone. I make good decisions, and I never hurt nor harm anyone. I live at my house.
Or do you live alone, or do you have anyone else living with you?
I have a personal protection dog and emotional support dog.
Cool.
And we have an office in Bernie, Texas, and we have another one in Port Arthur, Texas. We do asbestos, we do asbestos abatement, mold remediation. We can kill MRSA, SARS, H1N1.
It's okay. I don't need to know all that. Now, in 2020, I noticed that you were arrested for a number of things. Those cases ultimately got dismissed. Did you go to court on all those cases?
Paul Schiffler and Harris County handled that, or Bucky Oshouse did not handle the cases, and Sarah Donovan and David Minton handled the ones in Travis County. And it's all been entrapment. And he's got motive. He crossed the line, and he wanted to sell the house. It's on 20 acres.
That's not what I'm talking about. Right now, I'm just trying to figure out whether or not to do a personal bond on the DWI charge. That's all I'm trying to deal with. We're not trying to litigate those old issues. I'm not trying to dismiss them, but that's not relevant.
I've got 2 dogs at the house. I've got an employee that comes over there several times a week from Bernie, and and we work.
Do you have any references that our pretrial services office can call?
Susan Rising,
Is that your sister?
that's my mother.
Okay, she lives here in Austin, or
No, sir, she doesn't.
where is she?
She lives in Port Arthur, Texas. We
What's-
live wherever we have jobs. It's 409-963-7475.
7475?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have pretrial services come and talk to you one more time. And they'll give you another opportunity to answer their questions and to sign the paperwork promise, and you'll come back to court.
Is it safe for me to do that without putting myself in a,
Yes, you're not gonna be asked anything about the facts of the case and this isn't about discussing the facts of the case. So it's not, this is simply about finding out, the kind of questions I just asked you, where you work, where you live, do you have references, things like that. Because we're
Yes, sir.
trying to figure out whether, I don't want to hold someone in jail unnecessarily. I just need to know that you're going to show up for court and that you're not going to endanger
I
anybody.
will be there. I will be in court. I just want to go home. I've got 2 dogs at the house and the man is not getting there from the office until about the next 15 to 20 minutes. His
I
name is
understand.
James McNeil.
Well, I'm going to send the pretrial services office to come back and interview you one more time. You need to make sure you answer their questions, okay?
Yes, sir.
They're not
Yes,
going to
sir.
they're not going to talk to you about the facts of the case, all right?
Yes, sir.
Something to discuss with your lawyer, all right? And then once you do that, we'll have them contact your references, and then I'll make a final decision at that point whether I'm willing to do a personal bond in your case. I'm open to possibly doing it based on what I'm looking at. Now, you do have 2 conditions you need to comply with, Ms. Rising.
Yes, sir.
Besides showing up for court. First of all, you're required to install an ignition interlock device on your vehicle. Do you know what that is?
Yes, sir. Yes, well, I will find out about it.
It's a breathalyzer machine that you have to install on your vehicle that you have to blow into in order to start your car to make sure that you don't have any alcohol in your system. Now, because you have a previous DWI from a number of years ago, the law requires that on your second DWI arrest that be installed on your vehicle as a condition of your release. You're required to have that installed within 30 days of your release.
Yes, sir. I'm getting a new truck this week.
Okay, well, it's going to have to be installed on whatever vehicle you have access to.
Yes, sir.
You have 30 days to install it, but you cannot drive any vehicle at all until it's installed. So you have an incentive to get it installed as soon as possible. It's not like you can drive around it or without it on that new truck for the next 30 days. You cannot drive at all until it's installed. So before you drive that vehicle, get that device installed. You'll have a piece of paper when you get out of jail telling you the different vendors to go to. And you're also required to set up an appointment with Travis County Services, Travis County Pretrial Services. Set up an appointment with them so they can walk you through that process and answer any questions you have. That number will be attached to your paperwork when you get out of jail. You need to set up that appointment. You need to make that call within the next 3 days. Do you understand that?
I do, sir. Thank you.
Second of all, you're going to be required to be subject to random drug testing, okay?
Yes, sir.
So when you get out of jail, you're going to have, you'll have a piece of paper with the name and number of a supervision officer that you need to report into periodically while your case is pending. And that supervision officer will, you'll be subject to random drug testing. So you need to be
Yes,
aware.
sir. Yes, sir.
Do you want a court-appointed attorney or do you want to hire your own lawyer?
It's David Minton's law firm and Sarah Donovan is the attorney of
Okay.
record.
Is that who you're going to hire? You're going to hire them then?
She's the attorney that always deals with the case of the remains of Pete Steele's.
So you're going to hire your own attorney then?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay.
Yes, Judge.
Do you have any questions?
No, Judge. Thank you so much and have a great day.
You too. Good luck.
Thank you, Judge.
Gonna go up to the door and this other lady, Your Honor.
Okay.
It's Matthews.
Hey, it's Matt.
Hey, booking number 2038.
Steele?
No, Rising. 2033.
Robin Bryson?
Yeah. Can you go ahead and interview her one more time for a personal bond? She understands now what's going on. She's willing to answer the questions and sign the paperwork. Would y'all do that and call the reference, bring it to me?
Yes, I will let the interviewing officer know.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye.
Ms. Matthews. Ms. Matthews. Judge Bigoritos and the magistrate, can you please pay attention and listen? She's ready, Your Honor.
Is she awake?
Yes.
You sure? I can't see.
I'm sorry.
Okay, she's awake.
My body aches. Hey.
Siona Matthews.
Yes,
Miss
sir.
Ms. Matthews, I'm Judge Vigorito. I'm the magistrate judge this morning. I'm here to explain your charge, your rights, and your options on how to get out of jail. You are here on a Brazos County charge for misdemeanor possession of marijuana. And due to allegedly failing to show up for court, your bond has been set by the county judge there at $40,000 cash for surety, meaning you can't get a personal bond. It has to be the full $40,000 or a bail bond company. A bail bond company, if they're willing to do it for 10%, be around $4,000. Now, you can also have your attorney go talk to the county judge in Brazos County and try to convince them to give you a more favorable bonding arrangement. I don't know how many times you failed to show up for court, but based upon the failures to show up for court, the judge has set your bond at $40,000. You also have a Travis County charge for unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon, where you allegedly failed to show up. You're charged with a unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon charge, second-degree felony, and that also is a bond forfeiture for failing to come to court. And the district judge here in Travis County has denied bond altogether. So you're not going to be able to bond out unless your attorney goes and talks to the district judge here and tries to convince them to give you another opportunity to bond out.
Yes, sir. And last time, excuse me. Last time I bonded out, it's on the same two charges. And I asked them when I bonded out, nobody gave me any paperwork. I understand the unlawful carrying of a weapon, but the Brazos County thing, I bonded out of there. Like I bonded from here on that charge 4 times. And this last time I bonded out, they didn't give me any paperwork to do any follow-up in Brazos. And when I got released, you know how you get released and they give you your follow-up paperwork at the downstairs. I asked the officer that was there, I was like, hey, you sure that, you know what I'm saying, there's nothing that I'm supposed to follow up on or whatever. And they told me that there wasn't no paperwork left for them to give me. And I'm like, are y'all sure? And I asked them to look it up in the computer. And this is the last time that I was just here in jail. I asked them to look it up in the computer to make sure that everything was done in Brazos, because Brazos was supposed to time serving. So when my lawyer did all of that, it was supposed to be a time served thing.
All right. So a couple of things on that. All right. First of all, if you bond out from Brazos County, they'll give you a court date written on your paperwork right there. But if you bond out on a Brazos County charge from another county like Travis County, because we're not Brazos County, we don't actually know when your exact court date is. And so you will be given paperwork telling you to contact Brazos County, and it's your responsibility to contact them over the next few days after you get out of jail to find out precisely when your court date is. Now,
yes, sir, that's what I'm saying. They never gave me no paperwork to follow up with Brazos. They told me I was done with Brazos.
So, okay, I can't speak to that. What I can tell you is this: your attorney can go talk to the Brazos County judge even now and explain the misunderstanding and try to convince the Brazos County judge to reinstate the old bond and give you another opportunity to bond out on a much more favorable bonding arrangement. Your attorney can go explain this misunderstanding to that county judge, and they can make modifications to the bond. So talk to your lawyer about it. I'm just simply telling you that normally when you get bonded out on a case from another county, you're not going to get a court date because we don't necessarily know what that county's court date's going to be. And so it's going to be your responsibility to contact them. Now, I'm telling you that because if you do bond out again, you have a responsibility to contact the Brazos County Criminal Courthouse and find out when your court date is. It's not their responsibility to catch up with you. So just,
Me and my lawyer actually had it arranged for me to do a walkthrough today. So I'm pretty sure he's already arranged something. I haven't been able to call him.
well, that may be true. And I mean, if it sounds like your attorney may have already talked to the county judge over there in Brazos County about trying to solve this situation, but you can talk to your lawyer and your lawyer can explain that to the Travis County judge. Now, in terms of the time served thing, the only way you're going to get time served on the case is if you actually enter a plea on it. So it's not enough that you just serve some time here. You actually have to show up for court in Brazos County and enter a plea on your case and take the time served. I only been to Brazos County Court one time in person. And then after that, I just been being picked up for warrant. And then the last time I had a court-appointed lawyer. I had a court-appointed lawyer in Brazos County, and I had a and then I had a paid lawyer in Travis County. And then my court-appointed lawyer and then my Travis County lawyer, they was like going back and forth with each other. And my court-appointed lawyer said the same thing, that they had got me a deal for time served. So I mean, I don't know. This is my last rodeo. I got 11 and a half years, no convictions. I'm filing for expulsion after this. So I'm chilling. Well, talk to your lawyer about it. I mean, you certainly can go discuss this with the county judge over there. I just want to stress to you that even though you may have a deal on the table for time served, you're going to have to appear in court in Brazos County to enter a plea on that case. And so you still have to show for your court dates, okay? I just want to make sure there's no misunderstanding on that, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, that's your bond information. Now, let me just go over your rights under the Constitution. In any criminal case, you have certain rights under the Constitution. You have the right to remain silent. You don't have to make any statements about your case. If you give up your right to remain silent, whatever you say can be used against you. You have the right to hire a lawyer to represent you. If you don't have the money to hire your own attorney, you can request a court-appointed attorney. Do you want a free lawyer to help you out?
No, thank you.
You're going to hire your own?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If the police or the prosecutor want to talk to you about the facts of your case, you don't have to talk to them about it if you don't want to. If you choose to talk to them, you can end the interview at any time. You have the right to have a lawyer present during any discussion with the police or prosecutors about your case. You also have the right to a reasonable amount of time to talk with your lawyer before making any decisions on your case. On one of your cases is a felony, the unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon charge. On a felony, you do have the right to request an examining trial. That's a preliminary hearing to argue that there's no probable cause, no reasonable basis to charge you with a crime. You could talk with your lawyer about whether that option makes sense in your case. If you're not a U.S. citizen, you need to be aware that a conviction of a criminal offense can affect your immigration status. And lastly, if you're not from the United States, you do have the right to request that we contact the embassy of your home country and let them know that you're here. Do you want us to contact the embassy of another country, Ms. Matthews?
No, sir. I'm U.S.
All right. All right. Any other questions?
No, sir. Deputy.
All right. Good luck.
You want to use your phone? Yeah. All right, thank you, Your Honor. I'm going to move on to 3 North.